Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. This video will be going in depth into the patch notes of Battlefield 2042 update 6.2.0, which is going to be releasing on December 5th, which is a Tuesday. So the update is not out yet for the people that are watching this video on the day that it releases, which is December 2nd. You'll have to wait until December 5th. Update 6.2 actually has some very good and important fixes and changes inside of it, some of which are not actually mentioned in the patch notes, but because I pay attention, I will include those fixes in this video as well. So we have a lot to go over. If you enjoy the content, hit the like button, really helps the channel out, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for hitting 53,000 subscribers. Follow me on Twitch, first link in the description. I stream every single day. And turn notifications on because I'm going to be setting up a YouTube stream, maybe even for Christmas this year on YouTube, because I want to celebrate it with, the YouTube community. Before we get into the change log of update 6.2, let me mention the changes that are still coming in this update, but are not listed in the patch notes for whatever reason. These specific fixes were mentioned in an EA blog post by a community manager named Total FPS over 2 weeks ago, but they do specifically mention they are coming in update 6.2. These fixes include the black screen during the end of round bug. That will apparently be fixed in update 6.2. They're also going to look at hit registration issues. So if you have shots that are not registering, they claim it as part of defensive gadgets being stacked in one area. Say you have a bunch of APS stacked in one place in redacted. They claim that actually affects hit registration very significantly. It probably has something to do with the fact that Battlefield 2042 is 45 tick rather than 60 tick, which means it updates at a slower rate per second than even Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 1 did. And that's because 128 players forced them to reduce the tick rate. Just another reason why 128 players is terrible. So hopefully in 6.2, hit registration should be significantly, noticeably better. It will never be truly fixed. There's always going to be some instances of bullets not registering. But the last three things before we get into the change log that they're hopefully going to fix in 6.2 is out of bounds combat on redacted to prevent people from getting outside the map, invisible hardware disappearing such as your character model or your weapon models, and they hope to fix the matchmaking with AI soldier problem, where you go into a server and basically no one gets to actually join the game because there's just a bunch of AI there, and it essentially matchmaking is not functioning correctly. So hopefully they rectify all those problems. For a lot of you, the next changes might be repetitive, but they're still important to go over for people that maybe don't know about them. They are nerfing the G428, the VHX D3, and the MCS 880, and now we have more specifics as to what they're actually doing with those weapons. For the MCS 880, they're essentially just reducing its one-hit kill range, making it less consistent within that 20-meter one-hit kill range. They're nerfing number 4 buckshot to fit a more, quote, close-range role. And we have even more specifics on the nerfs regarding the VHX D3 and the G428, which is the new AR and the overpowered new DMR. The G428 is honestly getting absolutely gutted in this patch. So if you were annoyed by dying to that gun, you're probably not going to see it much anymore. They have reduced its standard ammo 2-hit kill range from 40 meters to 20 meters, and they've also added a new 4-hit kill distance over 125 meters for standard issue ammo. High-power ammo's 2-hit kill range has been reduced from 50 to 40 meters. They've increased its vertical and horizontal recoil, slightly decreased its stability. They've increased spread both during full auto and semi-auto fire, slowed its ADS time, and tweaked animation settings. So this gun has been absolutely gutted. And with the G428 kind of out of the picture and relegated to a strange close-quarter DMR niche weapon choice, the M39 EMR stands above the rest of the DMRs as, in my opinion, the best DMR in the entire game now. The M39 EMR has insane 2-hit kill range, shoots faster than the G428, but it just has slightly more recoil. So if you like the G428 and you're sad about this nerf, use the M39 EMR. Moving on to the VHX D3, not many changes compared to the G428 to this weapon. They decreased its initial standing accuracy and increased spread per shot, which is huge because this weapon has a high rate of fire, so that increased spread per shot really matters for guns with high rate of fires. It should be less effective, but it will still be a very strong AR considering I don't think they touch the damage models. Moving on to some important changes regarding the subsonic ammunition and suppressor categories. For subsonic ammunition, they have increased the magazine capacity of some submachine guns in order to make it more viable. They have increased the MP9s and K30s magazine capacities from 21 to 25, and from 21 to 30. As far as the suppressors go, they've made them a little more viable by reducing the damage penalty for equipping a light or heavy suppressor, and they've also made it so you don't appear on the minimap from as far away with a suppressor. So you still have to use subsonic ammunition in combination with a suppressor in order to make it viable, but it's slightly better. Keeping with the theme of discussing the weapons, for whatever reason, DICE felt the need to nerf the GEW46 damage over 100 meters. So it used to do 22 damage over 100 meters, now it does 20 damage. So, I don't know, the GEW46 is not overpowered, so I don't know why they're nerfing it. The Super 500 saw its damage and spread tweaked to, quote, provide a more consistent and higher damage over 10 meters, but lower chance to get a one-hit kill. So for you secondary shotgun users, it could be slightly worse than you remember. And the last thing worth mentioning in the weapons section is the Ghostmaker R10 got an updated minimap stealth stat, so you should not be on the minimap when using the Ghostmaker, which is of course the little crossbow. Moving on to some of the more general changes, and I'll dive into the vehicle changes. Before I do that, if you enjoy the content so far, if you find it informative, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitch, first link in the description, and say hi if you come from this video, because I might be live if you click the link. Now, in the changelog section, under the AI Soldier and general improvements, they fixed an issue where some vehicle loadouts would not correctly apply in-game. So say you equipped an HE shell on your tank, and then you spawn in the game and you have MPAT. That should not happen anymore. And lastly, in this small section, they fixed an issue that could cause the recoil reduction bonus to not apply when in crouch and prone with some weapons, which is actually fairly substantial. You want that recoil reduction applying if you are crouching or proning. It is a significant reduction in recoil. In the Gadgets and Specialists section, they fixed an issue that could cause players to automatically switch from grenade to primary weapon when exiting a vehicle. I've actually died to this a couple times, and I'm glad to see that they are finally fixing that. And they're also making sure that ammunition and health pouch icons should now be easier to see across the board. In the vehicle section, air vehicles will have updated HUD icons that give better gunner and pilot communication, and air vehicles will also now benefit from a sort of, quote, computed impact point on the select weapon to show you how to better aim your weaponry. Additionally, they have also improved audio mixing for air vehicles, and they fixed an issue causing prone players to take reduced damage from vehicle blast damage. Interestingly enough, proning used to reduce explosive damage, I believe, anyway. So that used to be a legacy mechanic, but it looks like they're moving away from that in this patch. They've also increased helicopter and jet anti-vehicle missiles to now have the same 800-meter range, and they've aligned the crosshair with the impact point on all cameras for air vehicles. So again, massive quality of life improvements here for vehicles. It should be a lot easier to actually aim with them or to tell what's happening. Big changes for you jet players here. They have lowered elevator response time on jets, which means it should now be significantly easier to actually make micro adjustments and, quote, pitch correct when flying. So it should be less sticky, more responsive, and overall just smoother to make turns with. And the final change that I'll mention in this video, that is actually a very important change that I'm surprised they didn't put further up in the list, the repair tool will now repair slower on vehicles with systemic damage, meaning if tank treads are disabled, if the tank turret ring is disabled, the repair tool will actually repair the vehicle significantly slower. That is actually a huge change to teamwork in vehicles, because now whoever's driving the vehicle will have to actually be aware of that, and this is an indirect buff to Rao's ability, which disables vehicles from range. So if you can work together to take out a vehicle with Rao and a couple Stingers, maybe a couple Lisses, you can be unbelievably effective because they have now just nerfed the ability for the vehicle to actually recover and repair. So that is going to do it for this video. If you enjoy the content, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you made it to this point, I really do appreciate you watching the videos. I kiss you directly on your forehead, and tell me in the comment section what you ate during the period where you watched this video. And yes, I know that you ate something, okay? I know this to be true. It just is. So thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one.